Hey guys, Cruiseman here. Today I'm going to get ready to go for a little ride. This is one of the first really beautiful days we've had here in Dallas-Fort Worth in quite some time. It's really been great this week. So time to get out and ride, and I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this butt buffer to the test. Now what the butt buffer is, it's this pad that goes on your seat. And it's pretty cool. They actually make a couple of different styles. One of them is kind of a non-skid surface, and it's sort of a gel pad, maybe an inch and a half thick, and it fits on the rider's seat. They also make one for the pillion, for the passenger seat. It's a little bit smaller. They actually make a lot of different sizes for all different styles of motorcycles. But the large, I believe, I'll put it in the description down below, but I believe the large is the one that's for the rider on a Honda Goldwing. So it basically, what I love about it is the way it attaches. It just has a couple of little plastic clips on elastic, and it just clips under the edge of your stock seat. Really a great way to mount the cover. And I'm going to go take a ride with it. I'll tell you on the road what I think about it. And then I'm going to try the other one. There's another one that's kind of has a very soft, almost like a sheepskin cover on it that looks like it's going to be really comfortable. So I'm going to try it after I try this one out. So let's go get the butt buffer a try. I should mention butt buffer is not paying me to make this video. They didn't sponsor the video, but they did send me these to test and review, and I'll let you know what I think about them. I'm under no obligation to give it a glowing review. I'll tell you exactly what I think. So let's go for a little ride.
This video is sponsored by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Video Series.
So it is an absolutely beautiful day, March 1st, here in Dallas-Fort Worth. We've been getting some really nice weather. And it's time to get out and ride this Honda Goldwing. It's actually been a couple of weeks since I've ridden the bike, and man, it could not be a nicer day. A little breezy, but still beautiful weather. 73 degrees, just perfect. And so I thought, perfect time for a motovlog. Today I'm testing out two things on this ride: the butt buffer, seat pad, and this new Inov RC6 blind spot monitor and combination dash cam. So we're going to give them all a test today and see how they work. I've got my heated grips on. That's how long it's been since I've ridden. Turn off the heated grips and the heated seat. That's one thing I probably should mention about this butt buffer. I'm guessing that it would probably insulate the seat, the heated seat, from getting to you. I doubt that you'd be able to feel the heat coming from the seat if you had the heated seat turned on. So that's something you might want to consider in really cold weather. But first impression just, is very comfortable. It's only a little over an inch thick, or maybe an inch thick, and so it doesn't raise you up off the seat that much. For me, it's a good thing if it raises me up because I'm kind of tall. Now, I said in my intro that this was kind of a non-skid surface, but you can slide around on it. It actually, with my jeans on, it's actually a little, I'd say it's about as slippery as the Honda Goldwing seat, maybe even a little bit more slippery. Not uncomfortably so, though, I'll say that. Now, they did send me one that was a smaller model for a different type of motorcycle, and I actually allowed Dale to borrow it and try it out on his Africa Twin, and he texted me yesterday and said he had put a couple hundred miles on the bike that day and that he felt like it was pretty comfortable. So I think he's a fan of the butt buffer. And my understanding is that Africa Twin seat is a little bit tough. So maybe you can see down here my blind spot monitor on the mirrors. So I'm anxious to get out here on the tollway and see how it reacts to cars coming up on my left and right. So let's get back on the butt buffer for a second. Please tell me in the comments down below if you have some sort of a seat pad that you ride with. Do you have a pad on your seat? Maybe an Airhawk or some other brand. This is actually the first time I've ever heard of butt buffer. They reached out to me and asked me if I would review the product, so I said I would. So I'm going to go up and down the highway a little bit with this, see how it feels. I did ride with it about 2 weeks ago when we went to breakfast. We had a decent morning where we could ride, and I did ride with it, and it seemed to be pretty comfortable. So I think the real test is going to be a road trip. I probably won't be going on a road trip for, at least, I'd say at least another month. But I think you have to do a few hours to really tell it. But I can tell pretty good right now that it definitely improves the comfort of the Honda Goldwing seat. And there you can see the light just went off because that car came up behind me on the right hand side. So it is picking up cars coming up on my right hand side. There's another one. You can see it going off again. Maybe you can see it, not sure. You get up here where you can see that. So each time one of these cars comes up into my blind spot from the rear, it's setting off that light, which is pretty cool. And honestly, I think this is a feature the Honda Goldwing should actually have built in and come in, maybe have it integrated into the rear view mirrors. I just rode that Indian Pursuit last week out in Las Vegas, and they do have blind spot monitor on their new bikes. They also have what they call a tailgate warning, so if somebody's following you too close, it will put some stuff on the screen to alert you to that. As I was mentioning, Robert reviewed the NOV Third Eye system, which I'm sure is the exact same sensor and tech that this model has. I'm sure it works the same way. And his only critique was that if I pass a vehicle and that vehicle ends up in my blind spot, it does not. See, there's the light going off again. So as soon as that car comes up on my right or left hand side in the blind spot, the light goes off. Very cool. So his critique was if I pass a vehicle and then that vehicle ends up in my blind spot, the light does not light up to show me that the vehicle is there. Raise my windshield up a little, get rid of some of that wind noise. Yeah, I can see the advantage of this butt buffer. There's an extra advantage for me being a tall rider, but because it does elevate me up just a little bit on the seat, because the more distance I can get from my legs to the foot pegs, the better. I would actually prefer it if Honda had a little bit taller seat, actually. Okay, I've got a car. I'm slowing down so this car will come up on my left-hand side. Yeah, I see the light going off. These are very bright LEDs. They're red LEDs and they're extremely bright.
A few moments later.
I'll tell you what, after riding that Indian last week, I have a whole new appreciation for the lightness and the nimbleness, if that's a word, of this Honda Goldwing. It is so much easier to manage just because it is 100 pounds, almost 100 pounds lighter than that Indian. And the Indian was a beautiful bike, don't get me wrong, and very, very comfortable, very smooth, great motorcycle, great engine. But I guess I'm just a Goldwing guy. I just love this motorcycle. It is really, really superb. And I'd say with this butt buffer, I'd say the seat is almost as comfortable or about maybe the same as that Indian. That Indian had a very comfortable seat. I would definitely have this butt buffer on if I'm doing a road trip. Now, the one that I'm on right now is, I would say, waterproof. If you're in the rain, this is the one you'd want to be riding with. The one that has the sheepskin, the furry surface, I don't know how that's going to deal with water and rain. I'm not sure I'd want to sit on a soaking wet sheepskin or whatever material it is. I'll have to look and see. This material is very comfortable. This is Velvet Taco, by the way, one of my favorite restaurants. I love this place. Excellent tacos. Okay, I'm gonna pull over and I'm gonna try out that other pad on the way back. Okay, I'm gonna swap out this seat pad for the fluffy one and we'll give it a try. Let's get Mr. Fluffy out here. 50th anniversary cap. Check out shop.cruisemansgarage.com. There's the fluffy sheepskin cover. The butt buffer is so easy to remove, so if you're on a road trip and you don't want to leave it on your bike, you can easily take it off and throw it in your trunk or in your hotel room. Very easy to put on and off. I love that. I have a feeling I'm going to like this. Oh yeah, very soft, very, very soft, but I feel like it does raise you up a little bit more than the other one. So I think if you're a shorter rider with short legs, you might prefer the other butt buffer pad to this one. I actually like this because like I said, I like to get up off the seat a little more. So I'm anxious to get home and check out the video files on this in-off camera and see what the quality's like. You know, I've tested the Vantru dash cam for the Goldwing, or for the motorcycle, and so has Robert White, I might add. It does seem like just a cursory look at the app, like Vantru gives you, it's a much more robust app. There's a lot more information that you can have displayed in the video file than what INNOV offers from what I've seen so far. Okay, so just after a few minutes of riding with this sheepskin butt buffer, I don't know, I'm having a hard time deciding which one I like better. You can still slide around on this one. I don't think it's quite as slick as the other one. So the jury's still out for me. I haven't decided which one I like better. I think I might lean toward the other one just because it would be okay to ride in the rain with it. If you left it, maybe you forget and you left it sitting on your bike at a restaurant and it starts raining, it wouldn't soak up the rain like this one would. So that is kind of a plus, I think, for the other one. This one's pretty darn comfortable though. But I don't really feel like it's any more comfortable than the other one. It just has a different feel. Maybe I'll hand this butt buffer off to Robert White and let him ride with it. Tell me what he thinks. I know some days he rides back and forth to work, especially with the weather now getting nice. He'll probably be taking his bike to work. And I think he's got a decent commute. So maybe get his feedback, see what he thinks of this. Now Robert is a little shorter than I am, so he may not like it just from the standpoint that it might make it harder for his feet, to flat foot the ground when he comes to a stop. That may be a deal killer for him. Oh, and by the way, if any of you are interested in this butt buffer, I'll put links in the description of the video where you can get more information, or if you choose to order one. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. That really does help my YouTube channel. So thanks for joining me today. I will see you on the next Cruiseman's Garage, and until then, remember what I always say: ride often, but ride safe.